This call is being recorded.
Bam, thank you for your patience.
No
All right,
worries.
I am recording this conversation, so please don't hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions. This is actually really wild because the person who I spoke to right before you also had a Scorpio moon, except she was an Aries born in 1990. So I thought that was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's super cool actually because you are alien. You have an alien construct in your chart.
Word. I'm aware of that.
That's
I'm
what's up.
watching. Yeah,
I'm ex-
watching videos. I got 3 of them, I think. Power Alien, 3 of them.
oh yes. Actually, that's why I was excited to see your Capricorn born 89. So you actually represent one of the most powerful alien constructs of all time. And that's the Capricorn generation, which is important because for the first time ever in history, y'all are awakening. Like Pluto has returned to power. Pluto has awakened the energy. Saturn has returned for you. So, I would actually like to do a documentary on your whole generation because you got the Neptune, Saturn, Uranus power alien, and then you specifically have that with the moon, Pluto vessel alien. So
Okay.
that is such a huge deal. It's with the Pluto moon, you can sense negativity, you can discover other secrets, but as a pure vessel to exert alien power. My bad. If at any point you want to interrupt me, please don't hesitate. If there's anything you want to ask, please don't hesitate. You're totally fine.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. So when you talked about the Pluto vessel, I was actually in question about that because I wasn't sure if it was close enough.
Yeah, okay, so that's a good question. So, first of all, we see the Neptune power. Cool. So, yeah, the article is going to speak to a 10-degree orb, but because it's in the same zodiac sign, it'll still count.
Mm,
So, yeah, it's not an exact one, but you still coral the same energy in the sign, so it's like a looser version.
awesome.
Yeah. No, great question. I've personally experienced the moon Uranus because my moon's in Cap. So like my Uranus is like more than 10 degrees away, but I've experienced the effect of that too. So I'm gonna put the article there again just for reference. And once again, like it's such a huge deal because to see that you have this here once again in the sense of now you taking that intensity and purity of Scorpio, but exerting and expressing it through the power of Capricorn. 189 and 8 and 90, I would say were GOAT squad, were the greatest of all time. Where you coming out of 89, have Jupiter in the end of Taurus, which is right next to your MC, which is going to be really cool as the North Node switches out of there. You're getting ready to come through a lot of career expansion through Destiny, which you've already done the work for. Congratulations! But the reason why this is really cool is that you connect the Uranus Neptune extra dimensional connection of your own spirit with Saturn, the ruler of your sun. Saturn represents the material realm, Uranus represents the causal realm of the mind, Neptune represents the astral realm of imagination. We're seeing with these three in the same sign a unique conjunction and cycle where now we all have the ability to harness from our imagination the Neptunian astral realm contact, and from our mind, we can draw on any energy and power to anchor into reality through Saturn. It's just you actually having your sun on Saturn, unlike me, that's more a vessel, or anyone else that may not have a direct connection. You actually are aware of this. And this opens up abilities of matter manipulation, time manipulation, everything that constitutes what you have with this power. Science officially believes you don't exist. You only exist in sci-fi and fantasy. But like you're able to look at any individual and see how much integrity they have in mere moments. Uranus will add their cognizant understanding as a Virgo rising to really creatively express your inner child and talents in the most incredible way possible because Capricorn works super hard, right? Especially with Saturn. So you're going to really put in, whereas in Aries in their fifth house, they're more concerned with having fun. Virgo in their fifth house, they have fun by putting in the most work. Like you gonna put in your greatest work. That's your signature. You the GOAT. And not only that, you're director as the master, because Virgo rising is the critic or the master. And so relative to that, it
You're
really
kind of going out.
my bad. Yeah. Relative to that, it really goes a long way towards realistically opening up a very powerful element of not only how you express this power, but as a Virgo rising, how you express yourself as a critic. Critics un- uncover hidden meaning, and your fourth house is hidden, and Sagittarius is meaning. So you have Venus in the fourth house, which means the way you express your love and creativity is adventurous. There's a mild wanderlust that's going to go in to how you understand the meaning of your connections and partnerships with others, especially. But you know what? Let me make sure. Um, okay, cool. Especially here. So Venus here in the fourth will have the natural, Sagittarian qualities, but take more of a Cancer edge where, yeah, you like to be adventurous, but you're going to bring that sense of adventure within your own home, within your own private life. Someone can mistake an energy like this for being introverted, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're introverted or extroverted as much as it will really show more your deeper understanding. Oops, your deeper understanding of how to creatively express much of this creativity, and more so the understanding primarily of how to show through your heart this adventurous quality in nature. So once again, if we get back to the Capricorn energy, before we do that, we know that your moon is in the third house. This is a sense of psychological telepathy because with the moon in Scorpio, now you have a very extreme attitude towards life, where the third house is the house of learning, attitude, and skill sets, immediate environment, neighbors. Pluto here is going to bring intensity and extremeness and purity to how you communicate, which means you probably don't like small talk because you're able to really peer into the depth. It doesn't mean you can't have small talk, but you're going to be in a more extreme position to just straight communicate about the depth of psychology in any context to really help people understand what's occurring on the deeper surface. You really feel this extremely, and this, in a sense, intuitively gives you a form of telepathy in an emotionally intelligent way, to where you can communicate and receive insight without any words being exchanged. If anything, you can tell more by what someone doesn't do and say by what they do. It's a very extreme element of wisdom. It speaks to the pure nature of your skills and how intensely and focused you're going to really feel in to do anything. It really speaks of the pure energy that you also generate now as a basis in order for you to fully express your Capricorn talent, which we do have to look at the fifth house here, because with Mercury 28 degrees, you do have a mastermind. Mastermind would be more 29, but 28, anything after the 20 degrees is at a master level. You're 57 minutes, which is close to 29. And so I have a 29-degree Mercury in Taurus. My ability to communicate is actually masterful, especially in Taurus, because if it was a Gemini, I would be talking really quickly, but it can enunciate slower in Taurus, and it enables me to ground these concepts and speak with mastery. You have the highest level of this in the earth sense in Capricorn, in that you're able to organize the way your brain processes and organizes information and expresses it creatively in order to really have powerful directive communication and ability to discern and process. So basically, if you think of Mercury as the magic wand in your brain, all that supernatural power that your spirit harnesses, because once again, I kind of have this, it's just my moon is there. So I'm not aware of this energy. Neptune and Capricorn will link our bodies to the astral realm of imagination. And I like how your sun is actually closest to Neptune in the stellium. They're all within 10 degrees, which is super awesome. So you can channel higher frequency beings, you can ascend, dance the sacred dance, you can manifest anything into third dimensional reality, and even harness time. But as my moon is here, right, and I can feel I'm a vessel of these powers. where they work through my soul. Your sun actually gives you awareness and power to activate this at will. So oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I had a few experiences, brother. I'm just
Hmm.
I'm just saying. I know what you're talking about.
No, I needed to hear that. Like, thank you, because this is truly next level. The only thing that's at a higher level than this are those born in the 2000s, because now they have this level at Uranus in Aquarius, and theirs is advanced. But this is easily theirs is advanced, and the ones after is beyond. So the reason why I say that is Capricorn is the standard. It's the greatest power. You're harnessing this at the top level, and of course, there's responsibility that comes with it, but we have to make clear for the first time since the last couple of years, your power has returned. So it's like you're starting a new cycle of integrating this in Aquarius into your lifestyle before, boom, Jupiter goes into your seventh and Saturn goes into your seventh. And now that you're of age and your body is able to harness this incredible power, you can use it in service to others. You can actually control it and have more knowledge of what you're doing. And that's why I'm really grateful to speak to you and people like you, because you're pushing forward the advent of consciousness, science, and psychic ability and supernatural power just by being you. And if you think of everyone else that harnesses Capricorn energy, you're now a hub to it. You make me more intuitive just because the light of your sun empowers all that power I have. Just like the Scorpios will intensify that Scorpio vessel energy. Like if you meet any Scorpio suns, you'll have a soulmate connection with them. So once again, that intensity of an observer will discern the purity of people's attitude. I always like to say that Moon Plutos may have like a disgust response when they deal with most people, because most people are impure. So it's not that you feel like you're better than people or that people just suck. It's that even if certain people mean well, Scorpio needs purity. It's really more the Pluto part in you that's not really a fan of today's culture or society, because there's a lot we've normalized that's fake as hell, and like you're gonna feel that and it's gonna really repel you, because water moons need purity. They need holding space where it's not full of crap, and it could be easier for you to kind of feel into that around you, which can deter you from perhaps going out. This will clash with Venus and Sagittarius that has a wanderlust, and it trines your Mars and Aries. I also have Mars and Aries, but you have your Sun in Capricorn, whereas Capricorn acts as a leash for the instinctive Aries. So Mars and Aries is dope. I've used Mars and Aries to cut in front of a line where I would have had to wait 2 hours. Like instinctually, I just moved to cut. That was amazing. But once again, like before I can think about what I'm doing, before I can be like, hey, you should probably, not do that, I already did it. And that's the only drawback I'd say. It has its pros and cons. But you as a Capricorn have a much more aware leash on it, and you can control it so much more powerfully. So you have the best of both worlds here, where you have Venus, the wanderlust heart that connects with Mars and Aries to instinctually take action on the heart's vision that you have. Because Aries is one thing, but when it's guided by Sagittarius with that vision to direct the nature of where Aries goes, it really adds so much more understanding. It's just this Mars is in your eighth house, so the way you deal with people is pretty gangster. It's very raw, it's original, and it's dynamic, and it can kind of it could surprise people because they see the Virgo rising and they see you're really put together and down to earth, so they will not ever expect the Mars and Aries to just jukes them real quick if they cross the line. Just hit them with the jab to the jaw if they do that, or just bring that protection or rawness if needed. So that's a really interesting dynamic, because that's the only fire that you have, Venus and Mars, and they're dynamically expressed enough to present towards other people. And that's even cooler because we see your North Node is in Pisces in the seventh house. And so, I mean, now it makes sense seeing how you're chosen by destiny in a sense. You're using the resources of your own personality. When the South Node is in your rising, when the North Node is on your rising, your destiny path is to unlock yourself and discover who you are. But it's the opposite. You already came into this lifetime with full understanding, who you are as you're going up and as you come through nodal returns. You're taking the mastery of yourself to bring divinity and magic to other people, to change people's beliefs. Because you are the critic, you bring this analysis of being able to know the details and be practical in order to build a foundation for people to color within the lines, in order for people to really hold, and for you to hold space for people to come into divine realizations and for you to harness divine partnerships. So relationships are going to be important, but because as a Capricorn sun, Pisces is your third house, it's going to be how relationships form and influence your attitude. The moon, of course, is also an indicator of how your nurturing influence raised you, or your mother. And in Scorpio, it would denote that you gain such intense wisdom from your mother, and that she kind of taught you to tap deeper into beneath the surface. It's a little bit indirect because aspects can hit either way. Like, for example, my moon is on Saturn and it's in the ninth. So my mom was easily my strictest, most traditional like types of religious influence. But to see Scorpio moon with Pluto, this is going to be more pure, intense influence that really also helps you inherit, once again, a lot of pure energy and psychic ability. So it's really cool because the Scorpio moon intensifies how powerfully you can convert pure energy into supernatural, incredible power. And honestly, how do you express this fifth house power? I'm kind of curious. What is what does the fifth house talent or creativity that you
I got a little bit of everything. I'm a
right?
vocalist, I sing, I'm a photographer, acting. I've done all of them professionally.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah.
No, that's incredible. I like that you say you do a bit of everything. Capricorn is like the totality. So that's really dope that as the masters of Virgo rising, you're able to kind of harness all of this. But then, of course, if you need someone else to do it too, you know how to instruct them. We know we see Chiron and Cancer opposite this. So what you're healing, right? Because we all have Saturn opposite Chiron and Uranus and Neptune. Chiron opposite Uranus is going against this need to be seen as delusional or crazy for kind of innovating the system and kind of going against conventionality. Because now Capricorns born in the late 80s and 90s are not like regular Capricorn. Y'all are actually more like Aquarian Pisces caps that hold on to that traditional groundedness. You're willing to think outside the box. You're willing to push the boundaries. You're willing to draw extra dimensional vibrations that can tinge the normal traditional quickness of Capricorn. So Chiron in Cancer in the 11th takes the talent incredibly grounded in Capricorn and it heals other people. You're able to really individually heal where you belong with other people in social circles. And it could heal your friends with your talents, but it could also heal how you feel you belong with the right friends who either trigger these emotions or really help you feel more like you're welcome. So I would think that Chiron in the 11th heals the courage to public speak, to express your talents individually out to others. And, it's something that really speaks of a powerful healing ability in your chart. It also makes part of a grand water trine with the trine to the moon and the north node, where you're feeling into that intensity and then you're divinely expressing that to other people. Do you have any questions so far?
Yeah. So, I noticed in one of your videos you were talking about like true agents or double agents or something like that. I was wondering if you saw what I saw as far as that in the chart and what
Yeah,
is that?
so that's a really good question. So I actually want to recap. I'm going to make another episode recapping that and my thoughts about that, because when I made that episode, I wasn't as versed in the house systems as I am, and I use more whole signs and equal signs. So um yeah, technically would count as a double agent because your sun and moon, I'm using the whole sign your moon does fall in the second, but it's a third house moon as a Virgo rising. So you have your moon in Scorpio in the third, and then your sun in the fifth house. That will kind of create, a polarity between the masculine houses, but the feminine signs. So it's like you're able to express this darker energy in more masculine and powerful ways. Regardless, it's a really good question because what was that? Uh-oh. Looks like it's frozen real quick.
I can't hear you if you can hear me.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you again.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good. I would say you do count as a double agent because even though you do count as the dark side, or rather the purer side, right, with Scorpio and Cap, because they're in the third and fifth house, that does kind of give you a flip there, as opposed to it being second and fourth. So really great question. If anything, that would make you as a representative of the dark a double agent for the light side. Really good question. Since it is in the fifth and third, so it's like you're using the dark to manifest that creativity and awareness. You're bringing that Scorpio energy with the third to the light to communicate it. You feel me? And then also the fifth of the Capricorn. So with that being said, if we look at your MC that's in Gemini, your legacy is to change the world. You may not really keep a job in this lifetime. Can you keep a job? Yeah. Are you meant to? No. Especially if you find that you move around a lot. Once you show the truth to upper management about the employment situation, it's on to the next. If you find that you either get fired or you quit or you let go, it's because you're meant. It's first of all, MC Gemini supports self-employment, so you're meant to just bring your message out to the world and to change the way the world thinks. But because the North Node is coming through here, destiny is changing the whole nature of how you even approach your career. And it's hooking you up with so much opportunity with Saturn in your sixth house, anchoring your lifestyle. So that, over the next few months, you're going to see that come in. And this is where with Jupiter in the ninth, you're grounded, you're a very gifted teacher because Jupiter here in the ninth house grounds the ability for you to teach directly or indirectly common sense values and manifestation. This works really well with your Capricorn power that sustains the physical strength of every action you exert in order to expand materially. This is great for money, and this is great for teaching. Like you're naturally a gifted teacher because you can take complex concepts and ground them in ways that people can practically learn, even if it does take time, because Taurus does take its time, but it lasts. And because it's so close to the MC, this is a Midas touch that any project you're a part of, it will go to the next level. It will bring so much more value and abundance accordingly. So yeah, your chart is awesome. It's very lit. Once again, MC and Gemini is the legacy of the messenger. So you're meant to get your word out there. And to see the nodes where it means that relationships and your attitude around divine partnerships are going to influence how you bring the mastery of your character to really live up to your legacy. And of course, this destiny of being in a position to really complete this more divine understanding of how everything is holistically connected. Did you have any final questions?
Yeah. Am I supposed to be dealing in astrology or metaphysics? I mean, I guess this is technically me doing that, speaking to you, but like, am I supposed to be going any further into there, or do I stay in the creative fields? Or
I think you're meant to merge it because if you never get into astrology or metaphysics, you are metaphysical, so you're still going to impact it and influence it, even if indirectly. North Node in Pisces suggests that your destiny is through partnerships to understand more metaphysics. You have a metaphysical divine destiny. Are you meant to get into astrology? I think you would do us a great service if you did because there's so much wisdom that you can contribute. And it looks like you're going to find a way to mix your own creative talent with that. You are not limited to that. I would like to say it's the other way around. There's really nothing you can't do. So whatever you want to do, you're welcome to put your power and focus to that.
Okay, cool.
Sweet. Well, I'm gonna send you. Oh, go ahead. What was that?
I was gonna say you the man, and yeah, bro. Like it's a lot of, I guess, with the extra dimensional, and I don't know if the government is involved, but I've been dealing with quite a bit, and hopefully that shit tapers off. I don't know if that has to do with my Saturn return or whatnot, but
It
if you
does.
had it, okay, cool.
And please don't feel paranoid about the government, because you actually are picking up and intuiting the strategies of world leaders. It's not. It's you're under the sense you understand it in is more accurate than it seems right now. And all of this will unfold for you because the Saturn has returned and Pluto's awakening your Mercury. So it's all going to just naturally coming into the Pisces completion make all the sense in the world.
Okay, cool.
No worries. Well, I'm going to send you this right now, and feel free to email me if there's any questions moving forward. And it was an honor to touch base with you.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
Likewise.